Okay, so there was a day in the pharmacy, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has experienced this. And this case I want to share with you has been occurring severally. This man comes into the pharmacy. He's having aches and pains all over. He's complaining he's feeling feverish. He doesn't know what next to do. He wanted to buy an anti-malaria, but when I found out that he had used one less than 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation and I was able to convince him to go and do a malaria parasite test and full blood count. So when he brought the results, one of those rare cases where you will find malaria parasite not seen. That was his case. Malaria parasite was not seen, but his full blood count was giving me an indication that something is going on. And it didn't even look like it was a bacterial infection. Um, he has been using several antibiotics and several anti-malarial, but he just knows that he is not just fine. There are many cases like that I have seen, and I'm sure you have seen. They come in with any of these ones I've listed here, and or even more: body pains, headaches, frequent infections, tiredness, weakness, indigestion, sleepiness, dizziness, backaches. They are not sick that they have to be in bed and cover body. No, they are just not their best, their optimum self. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to look into chronic inflammation. Could this person be having it? And usually, the simplest test to know if somebody is undergoing inflammation is to do an ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate. That's the simplest one. We have other ones like the CRP, and you could also do homocysteine and check their vitamin D levels. But the simplest is to do their ESR. So once you find someone that ESR is over 20, then begin to understand the fact that it might be chronic inflammation, and malaria and typhoid drugs will not help. In fact, we have blamed so many things on poor malaria and typhoid that if they were human beings, they would have sued many of us and made millions out of us. Malaria and typhoid is not always the culprit. It's time we begin to think away from these two and probably think chronic inflammation.